You're quite a disruptor yourself that way, because on one side you have actors. There was a time when influencers started coming and actors felt slightly threatened that ye hamara role le lenge. You have them also on your roster. Now AI is coming, you have that also on your roster. Don't your actors ever question you saying, why are you working? These people are taking our jobs.
I think that's a complete myth.
Okay. Nobody's taking anyone's job.
I mean, for example, Shah Rukh, Salman, Aamir, Ranveer will always be much bigger than anybody on social media.
Is it tougher to make a Musafir Cafe and a Sayyara, things with emotion, and it will become much easier to make a Bahubali with sets and mountains and all, people flying and all that? Do you think so?
No, I think the story counts. The sets have been great, the visuals have been great.
Correct.
But as an audience, you're going for the story.
Right. All these superstars that you name, Aamir, Shah Rukh, Salman, Ranveer, if they had started today, would they achieve the stardom that they have?
Bigger stars have become bigger.
Bigger stars.
Middle stars have become small. And the smaller ones are kind of disappearing.
When a brand calls collective in today's times, what, suppose they don't know much, they'll call you and ask you for what about an actor? Will they ask you for their followers? Will they ask you for their profile? Will they ask you?
No. Today a brand calls collective for media solutions. I think it's lesser and lesser about a service that a particular service builds in. Because I think where collective has really stood out in the branding world is, I think traditional advertising is dead.
I meet actors every day, I interview them every day, and they have a lot of concerns and questions. Everyone I talk to, they're like, calm nahi hai. I don't know why.
Look, there's industry headwinds. Like you said, is that a true problem statement? 100% yes.
Say, what would be your advice? There's a lot of confusion. When the actor doesn't have work, they're like, should we make Instagram? Should we do this? When our free period, they are doing auditions, they are going for auditions, they're trying very hard.
Somebody just wants to make money, so weird. Somebody wants to be more disconnected till they find their next project and put everything that they have into finding that. That's different.
There's no one rule.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're dealing with humans.
Vijay, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you for having me.
Vijay, I'm going to take you back and first ask you that, when you started Collective, what was the initial thought, idea before you actually started it, and what did you want to do, and how much of that have you achieved?
How much of that have I achieved? I think the true story there is the goal post changes. The moment I achieve 80% of what I thought I would.
Okay.
But long story short, what are we trying to build today? I think today, what would it mean to build a media company in today's era? Where you have 3 screens, where you have technology that's coming in at such a strong pace.
Right.
Where you have distribution that's truly become democratized.
Right.
I mean, the way to become a star now is no longer just to do a film or play cricket for India. So I think, I like using this analogy. If Rupert Murdoch was to build a media empire in today's day and age, what would that be?
Yeah.
Right. And I think there are 4 pillars of media: content creation, content creator, distribution, and just basic IP management.
Right.
Overall, I think today we're in all 4.
Okay.
And I think where I see it going is, I think for the sustainability of the business, content costs have to come down.
Okay.
The ability to produce content at a faster churn rate has to increase. And you need to find newer voices to tell stories. I mean, before this interview, we were just talking about Musafir Cafe. I think the reason why that's done so well is because I think TTT has a very fresh take on relationship dramas.
Right.
It's coming, and they've built a community on the basis of that for the last 15 years. And I think that's culminated into what's a very real and hitting story, right? Similarly with all our other productions, and of course, everything that we're doing with our clients. So I think just to build what is a new age media company in the post-COVID digital forward era.
Right.
And I think that's what I'm trying to build.
Right. While you say production costs should be down, you also have to balance your own talent fees. And how do you have this balance that you want them to make money, that's how you all will make money, but you also have to somewhere keep the cost down?
No, look, I think any business that approaches it from a view of making money now, so I think I have a very different point of view from most other people in the business, because if you see, Collective is the largest talent management company in the business.
Right.
We have a fairly large share of the market, but I've always looked at future value of wealth and money. Are you willing to barter uh, a longer end game for short term, right? So I think today, if you look at it, most talent, I think, if they're advised correctly, they will understand how to really cost themselves for a project. And we are not. That's why I think a film is, there's no set way of working towards a piece of content, right? And I think there are more and more mechanisms and mechanics in place right now where you can do well if the film does well, right? So I think we've not had such a tough time with it.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that.
Do you see a change in actors also? Because there was so much talk about entourage and these kind of things which were raising costs for so many producers. Producers started vocally complaining about it on different platforms. Do you see there's a slight shift people have realized?
Look, these things come to me very often. Okay. Honestly, I personally, I think there is cost optimization that has to come from everyone. And I think if producers and studios have a point of view, I think now that I'm a producer myself, it has to be a standardized point of view. You know, it cannot be piecemeal.
Right.
Because then in a market, there'll always be somebody who will do it.
Right.
And then that becomes the new norm.
Correct.
So I've chosen to deflect this, not because I want to, but I think it's just it's an armchair conversation.
Right. In the West, when there are agencies, they do. You're also doing that. There's so much more to do than just managing talent. You have produced Musafir Cafe now. They also put a lot of projects together. They build brands for actors. They build businesses for actors. Do you think that is the future for agencies?
I think, like I said, I think for me, when I spoke about IP management, the IP management is not, look at it like a big studio, right? Today you buy Iron Man soft toys, you buy Iron Man robots. Similarly, whether you look at, we've launched some very successful companies. Nikhil Kamath and I have a fund called the Gruhas Collective Consumer Fund, which is basically a venture capital company that invests in young startups.
Okay.
We were the first backers of Super U with Ranveer.
Yeah.
We have close to 14 or 15 consumer brands in the market that we own. One I'm wearing. This is my band, our band, Lok. So I think that again goes back to long-term building of IP and understanding that I think endorsements as they were back in the day is going to at some point plateau in the next couple of years. So we are I think we're far ahead of the curve than anyone else in India. I won't even say, I don't think there's anyone today that has ownership in as many consumer brands as we do.
Wow.
And we started this process about a couple of years ago. We established a investment banking practice within the company, and I'm whether it is IP through content or IP through consumer,
right,
I'm very clear the real value in 10 years time is going to be by building those moats.
Wow.
So we have Super U, we have multiple such brands that we're doing. And you'll see actually in September, October, November, we're launching a brand a month.
Wow. For actors? For
actors.
Wow.
So for example, Chapter 2 is doing so well with Ria. We were one of the first investors in Chapter 2. Multiple brands. They're in public domain. I guess the team can
Right. Is it different for every actor? Like sometimes an actor will come to you and say, this is what my image is, this is what my personality is. Ranveer's brand is just perfect with his image. How does it work? The actor comes to you all, do you all go to the
both
actor?
ways. So I think we're when you spoke about how did we start, we are a very market out company. So Unilever is a marketing company that sells soap. I think Collective Artists Network in the media business is the best go-to market company, which means I have more people in market every single day than sitting in office.
Right.
I keep saying if agencies are built on sitting back in your office and taking incoming calls, then you don't deserve to be there.
Right. Is it what would we take in today's day and age? If I ask you today, what is the bigger focus? To build brand for celebrities, to manage the celebrities? Are these different businesses that I'm talking about?
They're one and the same, right? Look at Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He has Under Armour, he has Zoe Tonic, he has Terramana Tequila. They're not different at all. I think they're the same. We don't view them as different identities. For me, when I work with a client, we are looking at building what life will be 50 years from now, not 5-10 years from now. And all our choices then marry towards that goal. I keep saying that both the client and us are 50-50 joint venture partners in the brand X. Right. They are also in service of that brand because you're building it, right? And the closer it is to who they are in real life, the better it is, and the larger it will scale. So I think they're all the same businesses. Agencies in India haven't operated that way traditionally. I think we probably are the first ones who are doing this at scale, right? Like even with Vikrant, for example, when we produced TTT, we also got Homemade on board, his production company, to co-produce. That starts the journey of his production career. So for me, it's always about organizations build value, individuals build proprietor shops.
Got it.
That's the difference.
Why did you acquire TTT? Like, what was your vision? You all could have started.
Yeah, I mean, look, in the classic argument between build and buy, sometimes what you have to do is you have to save time to the market. I think today time is of critical essence, right? Like we were the first guys to do AI, for example. Initially it got a lot of mixed reaction, but I said it back then and I'll say it right now. It's not an avoidable thing, and it is going to happen. And I think Collective Studios will be the largest technology-based production company in the world, not just in India. Because if I just look at if I forward project my next 1 year, we have more technology-based films releasing than any other studio in the world. Nobody else is doing as much work as us. Similarly, when it came to TTT, my idea of production is not very dissimilar to how it is to managing a talent. You have to empower the creator in production. You don't have to walk away being the creator. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, Anuj and Sharanya are two people who had great stories. My job was to put them on a platform and ensure that they can say their stories in the largest ways possible. And provide them with resources which otherwise as a standalone shop is difficult for you to get, right? So that's when we found the book in our motion picture team. We've got Vikrant on board, and then they weaved this beautiful story together, which became Musafir Cafe. So why did we acquire them? I think I keep saying time is the enemy, not a friend. In our case, time doesn't heal. Time actually, if you lose time over it, you will. My biggest fear is not what the next guy in Bandra, Juhu, Andheri will do. My biggest fear is there could be a 25-year-old kid sitting in Indore, Kanpur, who will have an idea to do it faster, better, quicker than me. So my threat is not within the trade. My threat is actually sitting outside the trade. Because there could be a really young kid who will come and disrupt me. So I'm very aware of Gen Z energy and their ability to take risks.
You're quite a disruptor yourself that way, because on one side you have actors. There was a time when influencers started coming and actors felt slightly threatened that ye hamara role le lenge. You have them also on your roster. Now AI is coming, you have that also on your roster. Don't your actors ever question you saying, why are you working? These people are taking our jobs.
I think that's a complete myth.
Nobody's taking anyone's job.
The pie has become bigger.
Any
market where it is only inclusive of existing market share is a shallow market, and this has been the problem of the business forever. Like, let me look at production for an instance, right? Why is it a rule that you only have to have a logo of a particular production house that has lineage to get top dollar? I mean, as I speak with you, 3 days into Musafir Cafe, I think we broke that myth. When we first did Mahabharat with JioStar, we broke that myth. Now Hanuman is releasing as a first theatrical film, right? Talent, the celebrities will always be celebrities. It's very clear. I mean, for example, Shah, Rukh, Salman, Aamir, Ranveer will always be much bigger than anybody on social media, right? That stardom doesn't die. What happens is the size of the pie increases. So if you look at the total ad spends, you'll be glad to know that more people in talent who are creative are getting work than they were getting in 2018-19. And that's good for the market. Nobody's come and taken away somebody's job. It's just added to the pie. AI now is I've said this so often in interviews, people are over-intellectualizing it. When social media first came, back in the day, you used to go to Jaipur to cut a ribbon for money. When social media came, that became a post. So it didn't eat into your market, you ended up making more money. Today, through AI, I can have my talent save time left, right, and center. Hi, I'm so and so. Catch my show on your Bollywood Hungama at 3:30. I don't need a time for it, right? So I think time is money. So I keep telling everybody I work with that what we are building is actually going to add value. And let me give you a live case in point. We have 4 national award-winning directors who are making our movies.
Right.
So whose job am I taking? Actually, none. I'm giving. Today, Rajesh sir is making Hanuman in all his glory, and he's like, I couldn't have done this if this was like that. I couldn't have, because not everybody can build a Namit Malhotra's Ramayana, right? You don't have those resources. So today he's talking about a story of Lanka, or Rohit is directing Mahabharat, which is Hastinapur, or Manu is making Krishna. So he's in a position to show Dwarka and all the great places. So today, if technology is willing to do that, you've given them a tool.
This is great, but I also hear on the other side that there's a lot of murmur in the industry that the big filmmakers who relied on these big sets and the huge stars flying and all that are freaking out, because this is like now everyone can make this.
As they must.
They should.
As they must.
Or change with time.
No, look. Whenever power is concentrated to a few, the industry, whichever industry, whether you're in automobile, whether you're in petroleum, whether you're in pharma, every industry, concentration of power is never a good thing. Right. Power of market share is different. Right. But so the way I look at it is, why do I need to build a set for 250 days in Film City and pay 100 crores for it, and I can do it at 20 if it saves time.
Correct.
So I mean, let's wake up and let me ask you the simple question. That's like telling me I still want the postman to deliver mail and not email. That's like telling me I still want to do ghudsavari as opposed to driving a car. I mean, technology evolves. You evolve with it. You evolve or you dissolve. I keep saying this.
Right. You're the right person to explain this to me. Is it easier? Is it tougher to make a Musafir Cafe and a Sayyara, things with emotion, and it will become much easier to make a Bahubali with sets and mountains and all, people flying and all that? Do you think so?
No, I think the story counts. I think beyond a point in time, there are enough examples and I won't want to name them.
Sure.
The sets have been great. The visuals have been great.
Correct.
But as an audience, you're going for the story.
Right.
Musafir Cafe works because every single character in that story, you lived that life.
Right.
You may want to accept it, you may not want to accept it. But you connect with the Chandar, you connect with the Sudha, and you connect with the Preeti. At some point in time, hum sab ne wo zindagi ji. Pyar wali, relationship, drama, all of it. Similarly, if you're making a very large film, you have to buy into the story.
Correct.
The visuals are a tool to enhance the story, but at the end of the day, it's a director's medium.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter what tools I throw at Rajesh sir, his Hanuman is so simple, is what I feel people will go to.
Right.
But if it was not for him, I can build anything great, won't make a difference.
Right. All these superstars that you named, Aamir, Shah Rukh, Salman, Ranveer, if they had started today, would they achieve the stardom that they have?
I think stars have only become bigger. I think the way I describe it in the post-COVID era is bigger stars have become bigger.
Bigger stars.
Middle stars have become small. And the smaller ones are kind of disappearing. Right, broadly. Today, I think, I keep saying this, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is bigger today than he was even when he was playing. Right? I think most of these actors who you've named, their sheen hasn't gone. Right? They have big stars. And I mean, today I'm including even the guys in the South.
Sure.
So I think big stars will remain big stars. Virat Kohli will be a Virat Kohli. You can't take that away from him.
Correct.
But the quantum will be different. Because what's happened post-COVID, simple है ना, 100 crores का picture ही नहीं है. या तो 70-80 है, या तो 1000 है. So that entire, when you say, we did 120, that market has vanished. That 120, 130, 140 crore NDOC, that market only is gone.
Correct.
Now it's either you're doing 70, 80 or you're doing 500. So what happens is it's become a bipolar market. Right. So the people who are doing those 100, 120 crore films, those are the guys struggling right now.
Got it. Right. Tell me, because you yourself are creating so much content on different platforms, different gadgets and everything. Do you accept that because of all this also, and because of all that all of us are creating, lesser people are going to cinemas?
I don't think that's true. Dhurandhar proved that to be wrong.
One film comes in.
One film is not... Okay, so let's hold that thought. It's not about the one film. It's about the story of that one film that connected.
Right.
if you're Dhurandhar was a 4-hour film,
Yeah.
which means you take interval, driving, and intro before the ads. It's a close to 6-hour commitment.
Yeah.
You sleep for 8 hours, which means 50% of your day. You're committing half a day, half of your waking day to one project. It's a myth.
Okay.
If the story is good, people go.
Okay.
The thing is, why do I have to get out of my house and go watch a movie? Because that's a time commitment.
Yeah.
That's what makers have to crack. Which is why today, your first assets, your songs, the way your trailer looks, the visual build-up of the film is so critical. Otherwise, today I think the days of यार बोर लग रहा है पिक्चर देखने जाएं, I think that's come down.
Right, that's come down.
I think today that's lesser. Bore हो रहा है, चलो let's go out somewhere to eat, or a cafe has become more common. Then let's go for a movie. I think today asking people to come for a movie is a commitment. Right?
True.
And your promise of the commitment has to be very good from the time your first asset breaks.
Yeah. And also, you have an option of Musafir Cafe at home. So why will you go to the cinemas? And also, every time people give me Dhurandhar's example, but Dhurandhar is again one that comes in once in 1 year.
It's a generational film.
It's a generational film. So, coming back to if an actor delivers a huge hit, it helps their brand value.
100%.
So if an actor gives a flop, does it affect their brand value?
That's where we come in. That's the job, right? It's pushing the car down a slope when it has inertia is an easier thing to do. You need more effort to push the car uphill when you have headwinds there, right? And I think for me, we've been very clear. We've been very good with struggle periods. If you ask me where has the agency become the strongest is, I don't think anyone gets into the trenches more with our clients than we do. And I think we share the struggle. And hence when we have a victory, we feel it equally.
Right.
It's a huge emotional investment. Talent management is not something you can do if you don't feel it. It's not a job.
Right.
You have, I love my clients. I don't like them. I love them. And that's why I work with a very handful of them personally. But the ones I do, I love them. Right? I would take a bullet for them. Right? That's because that's what it takes when you're accountable for someone else. Much the same way.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a team sport, right?
True.
I think you've seen Entourage.
Yeah.
Best example, right? I mean, that's how it works.
Right.
It's because you have an E, you have a turtle, you have an RE, you all of them come together to build Vincent Chase, right? In that sense. So I think for us, the toughest work happens when there's downtime. That's when the most work happens.
Right. When a brand calls collective in today's times, what, suppose they don't know much, they'll call you and ask you for what about an actor? Will they ask you for their followers? Will they ask you for their profile? Will they ask you?
No. Today, a brand calls collective for media solutions. I think it's lesser and lesser about a service that a particular service builds in. Because I think where collective has really stood out in the branding world is, I think traditional advertising is dead.
Right.
Including the old networks, right? So I think the good old days of media buying, your classic traditional agencies, ad agencies, I mean, they are all either endangered species or some of them already extinct, right? So as far as we are concerned, that's why I said, what does a new age media company mean today? So if hypothetically you're a chocolate brand communicating on Valentine's Day, we give you an entire solution of Valentine's Day, right? Which could include an activity with students, with our student community under 25. It could be TTT, it could be with a talent, it could be with an influencer. But I think what we've really done well for brands is we've been able to shape brand narratives because of our understanding in pop culture. A creative agency understands creative.
Right.
We've acquired a creative agency, so we have our own. But that's not the secret sauce. The secret sauce, not the creative idea. The secret sauce is what is your target group missing, and what are they watching, what are they eating, what are they wearing, and if you have those senses opened, you'll do a good job in devising a campaign.
Right, amazing. My next few questions are for actors. I meet actors every day, I interview them every day, and they have a lot of concerns and questions. The first thing, according to you, there are some really good actors. Everyone I talk to, they're like, calm nahi hai. Is it true that there's less work and, because, I don't know why.
Look, there's industry headwinds. Like you said, your last big grand blockbuster was 4th of April. and you don't have one since. So you are in a success recession. That's what I call it. Right?
Okay.
Like success rates are in recession. 80% of your gross domestic box office is coming only from 20% of the movies.
Yeah,
right.
true, yeah.
So is that a true problem statement? 100% yes. Which means what? Which means that what were the things that inhibited it, right? And everything that, people keep talking about stars and this. It's not star costs, right? It's just that people were not making That's why I got into it. It's because the fundamental tenets of content creation were off the cliff. It's like playing a game of roulette. सट्टा है 100 डालो एक बन सकता है 100 डालो 1000 बन सकता है. And at the end of the day, how do you build a business model that's sustainable? Which means that you kind of start looking at standardizing costs that go into creating content. Right? And that may not be above the line items like talent, because you may want the best DOP, you may want the best director, but at least at the below the line level, how can you make things more efficient?
Right.
So I believe that Musafir Cafe happened and we could afford a big star like Vikrant was because we managed the other parts of it beautifully. And I think that's what we're going to do more of. I think today when I look at AI production, don't look, nothing in that these movies are any less than creating animated features. Right? You have a HODs, you need to have a production designer, you need to have a costume designer, you need to have your DOP, you need to have your set designer, all of it. But if your input costs are coming down, there will be more work. I mean, I'm making 17 shows.
Wow. Okay.
Right? I have a release every month till July, starting next September.
Okay.
So I'm not in a recession. But that's because I guess we've cracked the cost model.
Got it.
Right.
That's
It eventually boils down to that.
Right. How much of an actor's income actually comes from acting?
Depends, yeah. It's very, very, very skewed. There are the big actors now are more or less equity participants in a film.
Right. Okay. So co-producers.
They can make a lot of money. But percentage-wise, there's no one size fits all. There's no standard answer.
Right. Has the definition of a bankable star changed? Every year there's a new bankable star, or do you think there are?
I think you go back in again. It's AC and BC, right? It's pre-COVID and post-COVID. Post-COVID, all the stars you would have paid money for banking on, those stars exist.
Correct. Yeah.
Those are the guys who've given you the hits.
From the new generation, are they bankable stars?
Yeah, I think again, if the story is good, Ahan has come up.
Yeah, that's true.
You can see that happen. I think the definition of a bankable star actually now is more on what people are looking to produce.
Right.
I think stars come from ideas.
Right.
But that idea is not the stars. The idea is the creators.
Right. What you will say, people listen to you, actors would like to hear from you. Say, what would be your advice? There's a lot of confusion. When an actor doesn't have work, they're like, should we make Instagram? Should we do this? When our free period, they're doing auditions, they're going for auditions, they're trying very hard. But the thing is, there's a gap between until you get a project. Do you see actors making any mistakes? Are there some do's and don'ts?
Again, to each his own. Somebody just wants to make money, so be it. Somebody wants to be more disconnected till they find their next project and put everything that they have into finding that. That's different.
There's no one rule.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're dealing with humans, right? I mean, today people can come. It's like if you ask me a question saying, Vijay, talent management agencies haven't done all this other work that you're doing. Because my dream is not to be a talent. My clients will only benefit if my horizons benefit. So my horizons need to expand. So if you ask me, I give away today's money making opportunity for building something sustainable for the long term. So if you ask me, Vijay, in your idle time, would you like to do more of this same work, or would you like to build more blocks? I'd say I'd like to build more blocks.
Right.
Somebody else can turn around and say, no, I'm happy with just doing what I'm doing. I'm fine. So to each his own.
To each his own. What is important? To be in the business, to be in the game, be seen everywhere, or to wait for that one right project? Again, to each his own, I understand. But, there has to be a business.
Stars are meant to be, stars are stars because you see them rarely.
You see them barely.
You see them rarely.
Right.
That's why I'm guessing they were called stars. Right. Stardom is best when there is a little bit of curiosity.
Right.
Influencers, that's why they're not called stars. Influencers, because they're meant to be seen every day. People who understand that fundamental rule of thumb, I think usually get it right more often than get it wrong.
Nice. So when an actor tells me that, yaar, you know, मेको ये there's a free period, but मैं ये सब करूँगी तो मैं शायद influencer बन जाऊँगी. I would be categorized as an influencer. That's a fear that it's in their head, or it's a real fear?
I don't think it's a real fear. I think it depends on. Again, it goes back to your team, right? It's like saying that if you want to promote yourself up the batting order for 2 matches, will you become an opener? No, not necessarily, right? That's why it's a team sport. I don't know what their infrastructures are like.
Sure.
Our infrastructure is very clearly definitive of how we handle these things.
Right. You know, what separates, I mean, in your business, there are, if I count 5-6 agencies maybe, and top 2-3 agencies. What separates one from the other?
I think that's a question you should ask the actors and their clients. Look, I don't.
What separates your agency from the others?
No, I don't. I think agencies are part of the business. It is not the business.
Okay.
Right. And I don't say that with any other intention but to say that if you spoke about CAA, William Morris, the bigger agencies, right, who've been around for 100 years. They could, they could build 30-40 year careers because the agencies chose to grow into spaces where their clients would directly benefit.
Right.
I got into AI to benefit my clients, not for me. So everything that collective does eventually has to benefit a talent. That's the golden rule.
Right.
Why are you producing? For the talent. Why are you in technology? For the talent. Why are you trying to break down costs so that more talent gets work?
Right.
It's a simple rule. What separates us is, I think very simply put, we're building an organization.
Nice.
We're not building like, I would like to believe that if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, collective will be just fine.
Will run.
I guess that's the difference.
That's a great vision also. The company should keep running. How much talent do you have in your roster? Do you have a rough number?
That's something we don't talk about. I don't disclose that.
Okay, don't disclose that. The fear amongst those who want to come to you, Vijay, is that they say that, yaar, inke paas pehle hi itne log hai, they will not pay attention on me. What do you want to tell them?
Biodata dekh lo. Track record dekh lo. Look, that's a question that's come to me very often.
Right. You hear that often? Yeah.
I don't need to say, I mean, our work is there. If you're saying you know what we do,
right,
you can look at those careers.
Yeah.
It won't happen if we didn't. That's why I said I use the word organization. I can tell you right now that there are people who are far more widespread with talent than we are, because I don't think you can think for 15 people.
You can, right.
You can only give yourself to that only so many people. Which is why we're very, very clear about. I wake up in a day, I have my client list, my personal client list,
right? Okay.
And my company. That's what I focus on, right? So I guess it's also, I mean, agencies have survived because there have been agents. We have a beautiful pool. We have a robust infrastructure of people.
You do, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, I put all that credit to my team. I won't take any of it because it's only because they are so damn good at what they do that I think we're able to manage what we're able to manage.
Nice. Lastly, my first question was what you wanted to start out. If I ask you, if you hypothetically 10 years down the line, do you see Collective doing something completely different? Do you have a vision for any plans?
I think 10 years down the line, like I said, we will be hopefully the largest media network in the country.
Amazing. That's best of luck for that. And I do know a lot of your talent, and I do know they are very happy. So thank you for your time, Vijay. Lovely talking to you.
Lovely catching up. Thank you.